Hey guys, is Bardabunga in Iceland going to blow up? We've been suspecting this for quite a while, and scientists were worried about Bardabunga because it keeps rumbling for quite a while. But we have a mysterious earthquake happening just right now, and different agencies keep changing the magnitude. And usually, they keep changing the magnitude to the lower areas, but they keep increasing it. So originally, the USGS had it at 5.1, and then it was preliminarily listed by the Met Office at 3.5. Then the INGV in Italy even had it at 5.7. And it was very, very strange. So this happened near the Bardabunga Volcano in Iceland, in this white glacier area that you see on the map if you look at Iceland near the Vatnajoekull area. And the magnitude is still not clear, but that earthquake was also followed by some other earthquakes. So I'll show you a screenshot here of what the Icelandic Met Office has shown us. But in the meantime, even they have now increased it some to 4.8. Met Office had it at 5.17 at one time, then at 4.95. Right now, they have it at 5.2. That's what I see it. If you look at that map here right now, the green star. And it's shallow, guys. It's very, very shallow. Only 1.56 kilometers. That's a mile, a little bit over a mile. And I mean, look at that chart, how red it is. And interestingly enough, that's the first time that I see that a Met Office does that, because it is exceeding their scale. I mean, I don't think it's a very good system that they have there. It doesn't really show the earthquakes that well like we see in other systems. So they have written it 5.2 because it exceeds their box. They usually 5 is the maximum that they can show. And you see in red, there's lots of red going on. So what is this, guys? Is this magma coming up, being ready to blow with ice? That could be explosive. There is a lot at stake for Iceland if there is a large eruption at the Bardabunga system in the Vatnajoekull Glacier area, but not only for Iceland. Scientists are estimating right now that it's only a matter of time, guys, before another eruption occurs in the Bardabunga volcanic system, and it could be, that's what they fear, significantly larger than the Holuran eruption that was happening a decade ago. An eruption in this system could have widespread consequences for infrastructure in Iceland, agriculture, and air traffic across large parts of Europe. We remember in 2010 when so many flights were canceled. And Kristen Johnsdottir, she's the head of the Natural Hazard Monitoring Agency at the Icelandic Meteorological Office. She says it's difficult to predict exactly when an eruption might happen, but there are signs, right? And this right now, in that high magnitude, is a little bit concerning. She says, but all signs indicate that Bardabunga is preparing for activity. The volcano has been showing increased seismic activity in the recent years already, and magma accumulation beneath is evident. So that's a fact. So at best, it could only disrupt air traffic in Europe, but it can do much more. Like the Holuran eruption in the Bardabunga system has caused significant disruption, although this was relatively manageable compared to what could happen in a larger eruption. In that eruption released large amounts of lava and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. But still, they call it that the impact on air traffic was limited compared to the Vatnajoekull eruption in 2010. That was worse. And I remember in 2010, I was scheduled to fly from Canada to Europe, and my flight was canceled. And of course, a large eruption from Bardabunga could produce ash clouds that would disrupt air traffic all across Europe for weeks and even months. And again, not only Europe, if you want to fly from North America to Europe, for example. for weeks and months. So such an event would also release massive amounts of volcanic gases, which could affect, of course, the air quality and public health far beyond Iceland's borders. And then there's the threat to infrastructure and agriculture. And in that area of Iceland, there's a lot of important power plants that rely on water, hydrothermal power plants, not geothermal. So if there's water coming out because something's melting up there, I've reported about this in my last video, that could destroy power plants. They could be at risk. So in addition to these air traffic concerns, an eruption could threaten the infrastructure of Iceland badly, as Bardabunga is located beneath the Vatnajoekull Glacier, and a major eruption could trigger catastrophic glacial floods. They are known as jökullhlaups. That's how they call them, like the tongue breaker. But Vatnajoekull, I think I'm not pronouncing that so bad. First time I tried this, I just couldn't do it. So jökullhlaups, that could damage roads, bridges, and power lines in eastern Iceland. And the agricultural sector could also suffer because if the ashfall covers your fields, you can't grow. And then, of course, volcanic gases might render large areas of farmland unusable for an extended period. And spring is coming. So now they would need to plant. So that would completely affect their growing season. And scientists have pointed out for quite a while that Iceland's emergency preparedness has improved significantly since the Vatnajökull eruption. But here comes the but. They're saying that an event in the scale of a major Bardabunga eruption would still pose an unprecedented challenge. So they are monitoring Bardabunga quite well. It's the Icelandic Meteorological Office is monitoring it in collaboration with other research institutions. And they have seismic sensors, they have GPS measurements, they have satellite imagery that they're using to track the changes in the volcano's behavior. And they see these changes. And yet they're saying we're doing everything we can to provide early warnings. But can you? That's the question. They're doing everything they can, but they can't promise that. And there's also tourists going to these areas, probably, hopefully not yet, because it's still winter, but who knows? And one thing that is a fact that the experts agree. One thing is, it's impossible to say exactly when the next eruption will happen, but they agree that Bardabunga is one of Iceland's most dangerous volcanoes due to its sheer size and the potential impact. They say there's a lot at stake, not just for Iceland, but for Europe as a whole. So what we're seeing there now, it is concerning, guys, and I'll be on the pulse of this for you, of course. And we're waiting for the next eruption in Svartsengi, Grindavik, Sudnuka crater area. That seems to be imminent. I've reported about this in my last video. There's interesting stuff. So check out the video here in the end screen about that. And lots of interesting stuff about Santorini and Campi Flegrei, of course. And I had an earthquake yesterday. So if you're interested in what happened to me, check out the videos in the end screens. Check out the videos on my channel. And become a member of my channel if you want to see some behind the scenes information about my private life or some gossip that I'm not reporting about here in the official part of these videos. Become a supporting member of the channel. The link is in the description of this video, or you just click the join button. And if you want to support my channel any further, I have a buymeacoffee.com site. It's /silky. The link is also in the description of this video. If you want to buy me some fuel that keeps me going, I would love for you to do that there. And thanks so much for your overall support, your heartfelt comments, your supers here on YouTube. And stay safe, guys. And as tourist season is approaching, really, you have to watch my channel so that you know where you maybe should not go on vacation, in which pools you should not swim because they can blow up, they can go down cliffs, or some other stuff. So subscribe. I see you very, very soon. Bye, guys.